Welcome back, everybody. We're wrapping up this conclusion to the Gigi storyline for Hildebrand Adventures here in Heaven's Ward. So let's go ahead and get on in it. We need to speak now, and I've been scouring the archive for any information regarding temple or magic since we last spoke, and the results have been rather troubling to say the least. As you may or may not be aware, ancient Alag is portrayed by the Incronion as a cautionary tale, a great empire brought low by its vanity and hubris. However, there is a certain apocalyptic text in which the Alagans are cast in a more sympathetic light, if not outright exalted. It was in these texts I found references to temporal magics once wielded by Alagan mages. Said magics could be used to halt or even reverse the temporal state of a given object. If these counts are to believe, if Gigi's abilities in these magics are one and the same, then it may be possible for him to turn back the hands of time for the Grand Seers, much as he restored the Duke's priceless vase. That being said, there is no telling how this will work in regards to a living being. Consider, if you will, that the vase is filled with water when shattered. Even if the vessel is destroyed, what would become of its former contents? Would it be filled with water as before, the very same every drop returned, or would it be different water, or would the water once split be forever lost? I speak of the soul, my friend, for even if one could use these magics to restore the dead to life, would they be as they were before, with all the same thoughts and memories and feelings? The Grand Sirs are convinced that they can regain their lost youth, and mayhap they can, but the dead who have entered into Holland's halls cannot return. They cannot. Yet Gigi is nevertheless resolved to try and resurrect Archmage's Quan. Speaking of which, according to some Charlene texts in the archives, Archmage's Quan was an accomplished scholar known for his study of ancient Alagan magics. Further evidence that Gigi's abilities are likely derived from ancient traditions, I suppose. But more importantly, I learned the location of the Archmage's former residence. Mayhap we can find something of interest there, something which could help us persuade Gigi to change his course. I had in mind to summon Inspector Hildebrand and make the journey there together. Would you be willing to join us? Sure, why not? Excellent, then let us be on about our business. I saw you, heretic. I beg your pardon, are you accusing me of being a heretic? Yes, you, Inquisitor Swear. I saw you sneak into the archives to seek out the forbidden tome. Saw the mad light in your eyes as you partook of the forbidden knowledge. Oh, for the love of, I did all that for my investigation. And you admit your crimes. You did that secretly without permission, in blatant contravention of the rules. Read forbidden tomes, then by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Supreme Sacred Tribunal of Holic Inquisitory Doctrine. You stupid ignorant. Are you also desperate to keep your goddamn job so that you'll go around accusing all the world and his wife of heresy? Is that what we've been reduced to? I'm sick and tired of looking for heretics in every bloody shadow, of trying to guess the secret sins of everybody I want to meet. It's stupid and pointless, so we're better than that, damn it. We're better than that. If you'll not surrender yourself, then I have no choice but to inform my superiors. Well, that all came tumbling out, didn't it? I suppose there's no point in trying to convince myself that I have no personal investment in the matter. But I still have a professional one. Somewhere along the way, I stopped looking for the guilty and started looking for the true, perhaps, and a way to help those in need. There's no place for people like me in the Inquisition, is there? It's only a matter of time before that stunning fool comes back with an armed guard. Let's depart for Idoshar at once. We need to find the inspector. At least he's gotten, like, an understanding of what's going on here. He's not super blinded anymore, I guess. Onward to Idoshar, though. I'm sure we won't be hanging out here too long, because we're probably going to be going back out into the hinterlands. Wasn't this the house? Or am I wrong? Well, I guess all the houses kind of look familiar. Okay, here's the house. Okay. So it seems we arrived too late. Inspector Hildebrand has already gone off on his own to confront the Grand Sirs. They came back briefly to trade Jingle Shine for supplies and whatnot, you see, and the Gobby's ear caught them trading Tumplex about killing dragons in the Forelands. When the inspector learned about it later, he said he had to go after them right away and backtake Gigi. He said he had a duty, not as an inspector, but as a father. Bugger that, he's got obligations to a bloody mammoth, especially one that chose to leave of its own free will, as I recall. I swear I turned my back on the boy for one bleeding second, he loses his goddamn mind. I'm afraid he might try to do something reckless. You think we should try and find him and offer a hand landing? I'm rather more concerned about what would happen if the Grand Sirs attack, or worse, kill any of Hersbury's brood. First things first, I suppose. Nara, would you be so kind as to assist Mistress Nasher and Julian in their search for the inspector? I'll pay a visit to Archmagus Quan's abandoned abode in the meantime. And before you think to refuse, know that you need not fear for my safety. Let's say that our singular experiences together have endured me to the harshest realities of, well, reality. Huh, could it be the scrawly little shits finally found his spine? Let's start by trading to Tailfeather. By heading to Tailfeather, I reckon the inspector probably went there first to ask about the Grand Sirs. So if we do the same, we're sure to catch up to him eventually. Alright, let's do that. Tailfeather. I'm actually unsure of... What is that over there? Huh. Whatever. Is Tailfeather like another spot entirely here? Okay, yeah. It's in the Forelands. I called them Hinterlands before, but I guess Forelands is the correct word. Alright. Right then, I say we split up and make inquiries separately. If we learn anything about the Inspector or the Grand Sirs or Gigi, come and tell me. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Inside, I think, is one. Or not? Okay. Oh, there we go. The Agush Guardians of the Mammoth, they were here, aye, proclaiming to all and sundry that they were going to slay the greatest dragon of them all. The gods only know if the naive fools were serious. Three Dragon Slayers at Mammoth, eh? I'd call you a mummer if I hadn't seen them come through earlier. Boast about how they're off to kill the biggest one yet. So why are they off trying to kill a dragon all of a sudden? That's kind of strange. Oh, those daft sods. They were for Ank's Shrine. Not sure where their intentions were, but they're awfully confident, that much I recall. Okay, so we have a location now, at least. Looks like they're right behind the Aetheryte. No sign of Hildebrand, though. Oh, I see. So the Grand Sirs were heading for Axe Shrine. And my dear boy wasn't far behind them either. What are we waiting for? Let's go. Let's go. It's actually not that far from here, apparently. At least in this zone. Is the X Shrine the dragon place? I think it might be. Here we are. We found them. Or at least one of them. The poor unfortunate soul who bears a striking resemblance to Orlin is quite firmly embedded in the earth. Would you look at that? The inspector sure gave him what for. That may be true. But where the other two get to? Not to mention the mammoth. Why don't we pull him out and ask? Though having said that, it looks easier said than done. Well, how silly of me. I'm sure you've got more than enough strength to yank him free, right, Narn? Oh. Well, B is wearing some sort of magic mask, what makes him look like the inspector. Just like that man of 1,000 faces back in Udall. Yeah, that's Hildebrand alright, there's no fooling a mother's eyes. I say, what trouble has my beloved son gotten himself into this time? Well, hello there, Lord Grobort and Inspector Sire. How did you two end up traveling together? Well, unfortunately, you might say. I was too far from Tailfeather when night began to fall, but fortunately Lord Grobart chanced to find me wandering in the wilderness. Lord Emmett told me all about this recent trouble with the Grand Sirs, as well as Hildy's investigation, and a father can't help but take an interest in his son's affairs, can he? As for me, I was eager to share with you my latest findings, namely the Archmage's Quan's research notes. Yeah, and I haven't slept like that since I was buried in the Lich Yard. Well, I must confess no small measure of embarrassment to be found in such a state, having been so unceremoniously disposed of by the Grand Sirs. But, ignorantly notwithstanding, I'm most grateful for your succor, and pleasantly surprised to be reunited with all of you. This wouldn't have happened if you waited for us instead of... Wait, why in the hells are you still wearing that rubbish? An impenetrable disguise is essential in historing the criminal elements. Alas, 'twould seem the Grand Sirs have grown more perceptive in their newfound youth. Wait, did you mean that they've already regained their youth? And what about Gigi? Did you see him? Was he behaving strangely? Now that you mention it, his warm, soulful eyes was rather more pointy than I remember. By the Fury, not pointy, according to Archmage's Quan's notes, that's a sign that Gigi's using too much magic. If it carries on like this, his ether will be expended, and he'll end up not more than an empty husk. This is terrible news. We must catch up to the Grand Sirs at once. Do you know where they're heading? All I heard was they're keen to slay dragons. They were bound for the Churning Mist, a place called Zenith, to kill a great worm named Nidhogg. Really? That all happened, huh? I met the other one. Hesvigir. Hesvigir, fairy take me. What could they possibly hope to achieve? Good question indeed, isn't it? So this is the last quest for this. As we see, we apparently get a Gigi minion. I, Hildebrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, do help I ask you all to aid me in rescuing my son and putting a stop to the Grand Sir's machinations. You know, there's really no need for all that. We came because we wanted to help. I, Nashu, faithful assistant, maker of explosives extraordinaire, do hereby present to you this fresh change of clothing. Capital, I knew I could count on you, Nashu. I shall change en route. Come, my friends, to Zenith and to Gigi. Is there a teleport to Zenith? I don't remember. Yes, there is. Alright. We're about to bother this poor dragon again. He's been through so much already. Make ready, my friends. The final battle of the Grand Sirs is at hand. To see my wounds are more serious than I thought, I fear I am in no condition to confront these foes. There's but one thing that could restore me to my former indomitable self. Don't you worry, I've got some salamander order right here. Shall Mummy give her baby boy a massage? Oh, my dearest Mummy, Mother dearest, I would not impose upon you. Not when my ever-loyal associate Naren stands ready to administer my muscles. Don't tell me you're embarrassed. Let Mummy take care of little Hildy's hurts. My dear wife, I know you mean well, but let Naren handle it. I personally testify to the healing talents of her strong yet tender fingers. Well, that's the way of it. I'm counting on you, Naren. Yes, it's all up to me now. Let's brook no further delay. Come, my friend. Coat my body in oil as you have done many a time before. Let's do it. Apply the salamander oil. Oh, how it soothes my aches and pains. Quickly now, knead into my flesh. Knead as you have never kneaded before. You seeing this, Echidnu? Ah, the real... Gah, such furious kneading. I applaud your enthusiasm, but mayhap I urge you to excessive force. Ha ha, nay, you were right. You were in the right. Already the gentle warmth begins to spread throughout my body. The fires of righteousness burn anew in my breast. Hold, my son, though your passions renew, you may be spurred to the greater feats of Mandevillean strength. Derived from the purest essence of salamanders, the ancient legacy of House Manderville. Salamanderville, to you, my beloved son, now become a proud father, I bequeath this most sacred of oils. Salamanderville, could it be the legends were true? Your muscles shall shine with the brilliance of 1,000 suns. No mortal man will have the power to do you harm. Very it is so, for by grace did I once weather the slings and arrows of a bandit horde and bring my hammer of justice to bear upon their wicked heads. The time has come, Naren. Take this oil and help Hildy become the man he was meant to be. By God. I'm witnessing a legend reborn. Oh, the Salamanderville. How it flows into every nook and cranny. Quickly now, lay your hands upon me. Massage of all your might. Can you truly handle it? Oh, yes, that's the spirit. I can feel it building and rising. Rising! Ah, such passion, such fever. I am the inferno bound. The tempest unleashed, but I have yet begun to pose. Can he truly handle it? It's taking him to his max. Ugh, I am a Manderville man. That sound of Manderville is my word. I've never felt so alive. Such vibrant colors, such intense sounds, such fragrant smells. Mother, Father Naren, 'twas your oils and your strong yet tender fingers, which opened my eyes to the glory of creation. I'm a gentleman and spectre reborn. Onward to zenith, no matter the laws of nature that pervert or the limits they break, the grand sirs can do naught to stop me. Grand sirs, I have come for my son. Oh, must we do this now? We have a dragon to slay. There's no need for any of this. The war is over. Not for long. The worm's death will give rise to a new era of fire and blood, and we have consumed his eyes. We haven't consumed his eyes. We'll use our new powers to win untold glory in the battlefield. Our legends will echo in eternity. You would doom countless innocents for glory. No, I won't allow it over my dead body. Fair be it from us to deny you, then. This is the end for you. The ultimate end. Dang. Felt like just limit break freedom. Is he still standing? No. He has fallen. Have faith, my love. He is our son. Gigi, my beautiful boy, pray do not look at me with such pointy eyes. Let Papa Hildy take you home to our gazebo. Stop calling me that. My name is Vivi. Vivi, I remember everything. My powers, my purpose, my grandpapa Quan. I made them young again, but it's not enough. I need more. More. I need the worm's eyes, and then I can finally bring him back. I'm sorry, Gigi, but no, you cannot. Grandpapa Quan is gone. He's right, Gigi. Maybe you could restore his corporal form and breathe life into it, but his soul, which made your grandpapa, is forever beyond your reach. That's not true. I can restore anything to its ideal form, to the way it should be, even if Grandpapa Quan. Even you, Papa Hildy. Please, Gigi, you have to stop. If you keep using your power, you'll die. Must be the salamander oil. I don't understand, your clothes are still dirty and tattered. As they should be, Gigi, for my every waking moment is as the gods intended. Every day I live life to the fullest, even every day I enjoy grand adventures. I found your grandpapa's research notes. What he gave you wasn't the power to make things the way they were. He gave you the power to change the world, to make things the way you yourself believe they should be. That's why your magics have no effect on the Inspector, because you know in your heart that this battered and bruised form of his is in its own way right. My thoughts exactly, Inquisitor Sire, is for the self-same reason that you were unable to make Grandmaster Quan linger. In your heart, you knew that there was naught that needed to be changed. Your beloved grandpapa was exactly as he should be. Your every day was to be treasured and worthy of celebration. Then what about the Grand Sirs? Why was it able to make them young again? All you truly knew of them was the stories they told, wondrous tales of daring doed by heroes in the prime of their lives. It's no wonder you were able to envision them as such. That's all they ever talked about, when they were young and free and full of fire. At first, Archmagus Quan didn't understand the true natures of your abilities. He struggled to deduce why you would not make him younger as he originally intended. Eventually, he realized that your fond memories of him were preventing you from conceiving him as anything but an elderly creator, and that the only way to achieve his goal would be to take them from you. But you were all he had left in the world, no longer a mere mammoth, but a friend. Family, his only family, his grandson. He couldn't bear to lose you, so he renounced his quest for immortality. But I still lost my memories in the end. He was afraid of leaving you all alone in the world, afraid that others would attempt to take advantage of you and your magics, so before he died, he decided to take your memories from you after all, to protect you. But beside his best efforts, something remained, something stronger and more powerful and more resilient than anything Archmagus Quan ever dared dream. You were never broken, Gigi. You were never abandoned. All you wanted was to set you free. Free? Free to do what? Whatever you like, Gigi. Don't you see? This was his final gift to you. A new life. A new story all your own. This has all been very, very touching, but we're not getting any younger. Well, you aren't at any rate. We have suffered your meddling on and off, and I intended to use this trap to kill the worm, but since you are so perfectly positioned... No, Gigi! Don't do it! I am Vivi, grandson of Archmagus Quan and Gigi, son of Hildebrand Hildor Maximilian Vanderbilt, and this is my story. Looks like we all got knocked away. The towers returned back to the way they were. Last of his life. It's like it never happened. With the life of his strength, he turned back the hands of time. Not just for the pillars, but for us all. He made us all once we once were, as we were meant to be. After all that gallivanting about, I get bugger all. What about my misspent youth? I was not meant to be this bloody old. That's such a fine day. Never have I squatted with such perfect form. May well have reached my physical peak. Ah, what rot. Act your age, you safdod. You look foolish. You should be grateful. Gigi saw what you had become and gave you a second chance. That was our second chance to relive our glory days. It was all really silly, though, wasn't it? Maybe Quan had the right of it. Maybe it's not so bad growing old. I was a coward when I was young, but now that I'm old, I'm not afraid to say things like, I love you, Doris. You're a blind, bloody fool, Gunspart. I say, am I dead again? Quite alive, Inspector, along with everybody else, thanks to Gigi. The Grand Seers are also in our custody. Ha, that's my boy. Where's the little tyke anyway? Gigi embarked on a grand new adventure. He's no longer with us. I see. If that's what he wanted, then. And I cannot be happier for him. I'm sure Archmage's Quan would feel the same way. What do we do now? What do we do now, Inspector? So not obvious, Nashu. The wide, wide world beckons to us, with the promise of mystery and wonder. We shall resume our never-ending quest for cases perplexing and profound, and perhaps one day we shall meet young Gigi again. I hate to admit it, but this whole mess got me thinking that maybe it wasn't so bad if we really did have a grandson. You did right by Gigi, Hildy. Your father and I can see that. We're proud of the man you've become. And I'm proud of you too, Mother, for finally coming to terms with the infernal nature of physical beauty and allowing yourself to age gracefully. Gracefully, was it? I fear we may have had a failure to communicate! There he goes again. Wait for me, Inspector. Wait! Hark, what a curious light I spy in the far eastern skies. And this, oh so familiar scent which chills my nostrils. Do I smell a case? Worry not for me, friends. For over he the wrong one for succor, I, Hildebrand, shall be there, till we meet again. I say, do you know that as long as the core remains intact, little Gigi is not actually dead? That's right, so dry your tears, boy. There's no need for all this moping about. He has fallen into a dormant state because he used up all his ether. His core will gradually recharge as it draws upon the ambient ether, and in time he'll awaken from his torpor. I shall tend to the child for now. As for these three, I should be glad to take them back to Ishgard in your stead. A most generous offer, my lord, but hardly necessary. After all, 'tis my duty to bring them to justice. Oh yes, it was my duty. After everything I said to the young Inquisitor, I can't go back to Ishgard. They'll toss me in the jail and throw away the key if they don't kill me outright. So go to Ildershire and live in Hildy's gazebo. Someone ought to look after it while he's away now. That doesn't sound all that bad, actually. Full glad I am to accept that offer. I suppose there's nothing for it but to wait until he comes back down. 'Twas a most grateful strike, my love. You haven't lost your touch. Alright. I suppose there's nothing for it but to leave the Grand Sirs to Lord Gobbart, and for me to see to Inspector Hildebrand's gazebo. I'd like to thank you for everything you've done. If you find yourself in Ildershire, come and see me. There are a few arrangements that I need to make, but I can't imagine that it'll take that long for me to settle in. Thank you, my friend, until we meet again. Alright, so we have to go to Ildershire this time. Onwards! So I think I'm gonna do this one for Stormblood, and then after that, for whatever reason, they skipped Shadowbringers for this. And then the Endwalker one's not fully complete yet, so we're just gonna get through Stormblood's Hildebrand adventure, and then probably stop for that moment, and then go on to something else. Looking back on the course I've run, it's hard not to think of the man I was and feel ashamed. Before I took on this case, I only had left the capital a handful of times. Rubbish, I believe. The facts I consider unassailable. Fury take me, what a fool I was. If I hadn't met you and the Inspector and Gigi, I would never realize how much I've come to hate my job. Nor would I have discovered how much more satisfying it is to seek out the truth. The whole truth. One might say that being labeled a heretic and having to flee Ishgard is the best thing that could have happened to me. After all, now I'm free to start a new life here in Edelstein as consulting inspector. Yeah, but enough of that. There's someone I would like you to meet. Lord Gobbat made some modifications, as you can see. A smaller size should allow him to absorb ether more effectively over time. We thought if he were to travel with you and share your grand adventures, that maybe it would hasten his reawakening. Thank you, my friend. I hope our paths cross again someday. May the Fury bless you and keep you. I kind of had the feeling this would kind of happen with a minion. It's happened a couple other times, like this kind of thing where something happens to a character and they get turned into a minion, so... Yay! So it does seem like with each new expansion, I guess we're getting a different set of characters with the storylines and stuff like that, because we didn't have anybody besides the Manorville family and Nashu for this one. The other people were brand new. I like how the little rock monsters are always in like the credits and preview things. And there we go. All right. Let's go ahead and grab our little friend here. We had a Kindu for a little bit, but I think it's probably time to go ahead and put over in Gigi over here. Hang on. Where are they? Okay, they are. That's going to be our new lad for our adventure here. Going into the Stormblood area now, so I'll see you guys next time. We'll have our next Hildebrand adventure over in the Far East.